Good evening to everybody. How you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Good evening to everybody. Let's see how many people they can jump in here. We can start a live feed for Sandra. My friend, Sandra Lee Witten. Sandra Lean Witten. I always say her name wrong. Excuse me for my accent. Good evening to everybody. I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News and America's Voice as I present myself. I did a video not too long ago right here for Sandra. I am an independent reporter and broadcaster over here in Tijuana, in Mexico. I'm a Mexican citizen. I was born in Mexico, and I live in Mexico. I live in Tijuana, Baja California. That is the border, the largest border visited in the world. I did a last video encouraging people to go out there and to find Sandra. I did a video last time to encourage people and to tell people that Sandra is the solution for District 28. How is a Mexican individual or citizen getting involved with American politics, and why? Why am I getting involved? Is it wrong or is it right? And a thing that I've been telling everybody, how does the Democrat agenda affect the borders of Mexico? And how has our voice affected, the left in the United States? That is important. Now, I want to tell you guys situations that has been happening in Mexico that they're horrible. And now things that you need to realize how is really important for you guys to go out there and vote for individuals that are fighting against socialism, like Sandra Lee Witten, like Dr. Alma, and like Anthony Agüero. Grassroots people that they are believing that socialism is going to destroy not only America, but it's going to destroy the world. Socialism is destroying not only countries, it's destroying continents, and it's destroying the world. As you see right now, what is going on in Greece as this moments right now, what happened in Italy, what happened in Germany, what happened all across the world, what is happening all across the world, and it's because of the United Nations. The United Nations has taken control of the policies and also the politics, and also has taken control of the New World Order. That is, the New World Order agenda, a socialist agenda that a lot of countries are, involved now together. And for you guys just to know, as you guys know that Mexico signed the United Nations Pact of Immigration, that is the number one factor why this influx of migrants is, moving forward from country to country. Just for you guys to know, there's a new pact that is coming on the 14th of May of 2020 that is called the United Nations Pact, Global Pact of Education. This is pushed again by the United Nations. And also, you need to put attention to this because the number one that is pushing it is the Vatican. Something weird going on over there. And as you know, the Pope, and for us Christians and Catholics, to analyze and to understand what the Pope is doing is completely irresponsible. It hurt us right there on the stomach because the Pope has declared himself as, a globalist person. And he has declared himself as a globalist agenda. So, the United Nations Pact of Education is coming on the 14th of May of 2020. And guess on what place they're going to put it on the table. They're going to put it on the table again. They're going to put it to Mexico. That is why the Mexican president has been so emphatic on saying we need to change our education laws. We need to start changing our, being more preoccupied for the education of our children. And he already knows what's coming. Now, if Mexico signs it and then Canada signs it, it's going to be put on the table for the United States to sign it. It depends on the United States government if they're going to sign it or not. Of course, if you got the president of the United States still, Donald Trump, if you got in office, he's not going to sign it. That is why all these Democrats and all these socialists like Bernie Sanders, like the Rashida Tlaibs, like the Ilhan Omars, like the Veronica Escobars, and like the Alexandria Ocasios, all of them are pushing for a globalist agenda. All of them. And let me tell you something that is kind of weird and it kind of goes together. It kind of goes together. Just for you guys to know how Mexico is doing right now. Mexico is going through the worst time. My country is going through the worst time of insecurities. It's the first time in history since the revolution of our country that a president in his 6 years of being a president, and on his first year of being a president, has more than 34,000 murders in his administration. It's the first president that came out and said that he wants an amnesty law for criminals. And is the first president that has ever in the history come out and said to the National Guard, criminals, we need to respect them because they have a human right. Imagine that. Criminals need to be respected because they have a human right. I understand that criminals have everybody has a human right. But criminals, we need to respect them. That is what the president of Mexico said. This is why a Mexican citizen is giving an opinion to United States citizens. And this is why United States citizens, they have the obligation to give their opinion to Mexican citizens. As we are seeing in history right now, how socialism is rising through activism to liberalism, and also ultimately through the worst people that are involved in the Democrat Socialist Party. Now, you're seeing how President AMLO is saying that criminals need to be respected, and all of a sudden, something comes up, and it's really important. Something comes up in the United States, and it's called the New Forward Act. New Forward Act. And it's pushed by Ilhan Omar, Alexandria Ocasio, Veronica Escobar, and also it's pushed by Rashida Tlaib. All these socialist people that they want open borders. All these socialist people. And the New Forward Act is giving the criminals a second chance in the country. It's paying for criminals to come back. It's respecting and giving them the human right because criminals, they need to be respected. It is exactly the same as what Mexico is going through right now. Watch out. It's coming. I have been broadcasting and telling you guys, watch out. It's coming. It's coming. It is coming like an evil force to your country. It is amazing how these people, like the SPLC, that they did a hit documentary on Jim Bambi, and they involved a Mexican citizen like myself, that I'm all the way over here to Mexico, and I'm supposed to be irrelevant for them. But now, because I'm Mexican and I'm brown, and I support this man because he's against socialism, now I am a threat. And they put a hit piece and they throw my name under the bus. And they put hit pieces on all the people that they're fighting against socialist agendas. And there are going to be a piece of a puzzle to stop these people from trafficking children and trafficking people and smuggling people and trafficking drugs and all this businesses, multi-billion business that is happening in our South Dora Tapachula. All of this, it is a huge problem. But nobody's talking about it. You don't see those 4 congresswomen talking about the 32,000 kids that they were trafficked in the caravan, talking about the 600 kids that they were reused in this start of the year in 2020 in Arizona. You don't see Veronica Escobar talking about the 200 families that they were found from November of 2019 till now, 200 fake families. And also, you don't see Rashida Tlaib talking about her state being the number 5, Michigan being the number 5 in the whole United States of violence and delinquents and murders in the United States. And you see also Alexandria Ocasio pushing socialism, pushing the New Forward Act, pushing global education, pushing all of this, pushing it, and it's rubbing on other countries. Now, people from the left in Mexico are saying the candidate is Bernie Sanders. People in Mexico are saying Alexandria Ocasio is right. We need socialism over here. People in Mexico are saying Rashida Tlaib is a warrior. She is not radical. She's a warrior. People in Mexico are saying Veronica Escobar is for the Mexican people. People in Mexico are saying Ilhan Omar is not a terrorist. She's a woman that is fighting for her rights. All of these ideas of how they use their victimization and how they use you're oppressing me, you're harassing me, you're not sensitive enough, you're a fascist, you are a narcissist, you are a homophobe, you are a xenophobe, you are all of this is their agenda and their socialist way to bring people to their hands. And now that AMLO is pushing for criminals to give them respect in our country, this is why this amnesty is being pushed in our country for criminals that they commit low-profile crimes as grand theft, shoplifting, and assault. Wow. No wonder how the increase of violence and delinquency in Tapachula went up, where all these people are migrating. And the statistic in Tapachula is that out of 10 crimes that they are committed in Tapachula, 7 of them are from Central America. There's no problem in the borders. I just saw a video of Mayra Flores, another great patriot, that it was shared a video by Tamaulipas, where they create and they do shootings like there is a 4th of July celebration every week. But you don't see all these 4 Congress people talking about that. You don't see none of them talking about that. You don't see none of them talking about the enormous business of trafficking of children. You don't see none of them talking about the nonprofit organizations that they're coming over here and they're being lawyers that are working without a permit. None of them, you don't see them. None talking about that. You don't see none of them talking about sex trafficking. None of these 4 congresswomen. You don't see none of them talking about how much money the United States spends on undocumented people in the United States. You want me to give you a statistic? You want me to give you just a number? Just a small little number? Small little number on how much the city of Hidalgo in New Mexico, do you know how much they spend per year as a gross amount of evasion of taxes? Almost $500,000. 438,000 infraction. Do you know how much New Mexico and the city of Hidalgo, how much they charge per capita because of the evasion of taxes of undocumented people? $80.53. Wow. Do you know that $80.53 is a salary over here in Mexico? Wow. Do you know how much the evasion of taxes is in El Paso? None of these congresswomen talking about that. $9,136,000 is the evasion of taxes of undocumented citizens in El Paso. Do you know how much they pay per capita out of every citizen of this undocumented people? $13.05. Whew. Wow. So the city is losing $9,136,000. Whoo. My God. There's no problem at the border. There's none. Everybody's saying that it's okay. Everybody's saying that it's okay. Do you know how much money Arizona, that is the worst? Arizona is the worst. Do you know how much money Arizona pays per year? Per medical, prisons, education, and undocumented people? $2.8 billion Arizona pays per undocumented people. Imagine that. $2.8 billion. And then that's speculated of 47% of the people that they live in Arizona, they are undocumented. Wow. 47%. Almost half of the state of Arizona is undocumented. Who's the governor of Arizona? Who runs Arizona, man? Who runs Arizona? And the 10% of children that they go to public schools in Arizona, the 10% of children, their dads and their moms are undocumented. Holy smokes, man. Whoo! Smokes. But you don't have a problem at the borders. You don't have a problem at the borders. And the SPLC is saying, oh no, these people are horrible. They're unhuman. They're unhuman. The increase of violence and delinquency everywhere that the caravan hits, it gets up. It goes up. And the trafficking of children, if it wasn't for the DNA testing that the United States government started, the Homeland Security started doing on every father and mother, fake family, that it was moving kids and children through the border without being their parents. If it wasn't for the DNA testing, my God, it would have been like the administration of Obama, that everybody was coming in and one of a million they would pick up and they would throw it back to the coyote. Amazing. It's just amazing how these people are just creating a smokescreen for every Mexican, every hispano, every latino, para todos los latinos, toda la gente que está viéndome ahorita en estos momentos. Es una mentira lo que estos demócratas socialistas quieren para ustedes. Son un asco y no les importa la gente hispana, la gente latina, y no les importa, por supuesto, nuestro país. No les importa. They don't care about our country. This Democrat socialist people, they don't care about us. They just care about their socialist agenda. Open the borders. Open them up. Do you know how much violence and delinquency there's going to come? I don't care. Open the borders. The walls are hate. The walls are hate. Do you know that in Mexico, they got 4 cities on the top 5 for violence and delinquents in the world? And out of those 4 cities on the top 5, Tijuana and El Paso, Tijuana and Juarez, are in the 4 cities on the top 5. How you're gonna, where in the hell are you see your head? To not thinking that these 2 cities, they don't have a problem at the border. How in the hell are you gonna think this? That there's no problem on the other side of the border? That we are number 3 for child trafficking and kidnappings in the world, and there's no problems at the border. These people, they only see, this Democrat socialist, they only see necessity. They're suffering. My God, they're suffering. Let's see the reality and statistics. Yes, the immigration reform needs to happen in every country. And yes, there's help, because a lot of people that they're coming, they need help. And I understand that. But for us to be helping, the United States to be helping, where the United States has more than 2 million homeless people and more than 500,000 homeless veterans, where the economy is trying to get better. And I just show you how much How much Arizona is paying as a gross amount for undocumented people? $2.8 billion Arizona is paying for undocumented people, and in terms of medical care and in hospitals and medical. Imagine, in prisons. In El Paso, 9,136,000 evasions of taxes. And New Mexico is paying 438,000 infraction, and the per capita they're charging them $80.53, man, per capita, per person, per citizen of undocumented citizens. There's no problems at the border. These Democrat dumbasses, they say there's no problems at the border. What are you talking about? The hell are you talking about? There's no problems. There's no problems. More than 358,000 people crossed illegally in 2019 to 2020. More than 4,800 fake families that were registered in 2019 to 2020. And it has gone down because of the policies I'm discovering, the undocumented people, and also fake families and fake fathers that they are carrying, trafficking children. And it has gone down to 1,000. But there's no problem at the border. There's no problem. Todo está bien. No hay problema. Kidnappings of women. Do you know how much has gone up in Mexico? 4,000 women have been assassinated in the year 2019 and 2020. 19 to 20. 4,000 is the highest rate in history in our country. And before this socialist president AMLO came into office, we were number 3 in the world for kidnappings and killings of women. Now, with AMLO, we went up to number 2. Number 2 in the world. It's horrible. And now he goes out and he says criminals need to be respected. Seriously, man? Criminals need to be respected? And blaming other governments? Do you see how Alexandria Ocasio, Bernie Sanders, how they play their cards? They blame always every problem in the United States, they blame it on Trump. Every problem, they blame it on Trump. Every problem. It is exactly the same system. It is the same system that socialist people use. They victimize and they go in there. They victimize and they win people. They victimize, they're hurting you, Mexican. They're hurting you. These Republicans are racist. Look at Trump. He put up a wall. He doesn't want you. He doesn't care for you. Me, I will care for you. What are you going to do? I'm going to give everything free for you. Everything free. Everything is going to be free. Vote for me. Vote for me. Everything's going to be free. And everybody, yes, we want free things. How are you going to pay them? Do you know how much problems that is going to bring to another country that is Mexico? Do you know how much problems because of that is going to bring to Central America and to South America? Do you know this demonic orchestrated migration? It is made to destabilize economies, to it's unstable economies, and to make them feel and to make them fall and to create chaos. That is what it is. Like what China is doing right now with the coronavirus. China, what it's doing with the coronavirus. You guys know what China's doing with the coronavirus, right? This coronavirus, this coronavirus was not made just from one day to another. It just came from a bat, and they were eating soup, and everybody's like, hey, yeah, because of this soup, everybody got contaminated. Really, man? Because of an exotic food, everybody got contaminated? The speculation from the people and from intelligence is that the coronavirus was created for a chaos of an economy. Because now, people, we depend, unfortunately, for American citizens, China made a point across when Obama was in administration. In China, for Americans, they depended on China. And now Mexico depends on China. Whatever they export and they import to the country. We need China. It's a product. We need China. And because of the coronavirus, ports of entry and exit, it's being closed. Now, economy is downfall. Have you guys checked the stock market? Wall Street? Have you guys checked how it is? NASDAQ? How it's falling? How all the ports of the United States, their economy is going down? All the monster economies like Hyundai, like Samsung, like Panasonic, like Toyota, like Kia Motors, all these monsters there that they create thousands and thousands of jobs, how their economy is falling and all the borders, and how the United States is the number 2 on export and importing on automobile industry, and the number 1 is China. Now, what is China doing? Oh, you don't want to respect me, right? You think that I'm number 2 and I'm not supposed to be number 1. Well, I make you pay. I'll make you pay. And I'll make you understand that you depend on me. Your economy depends on me. Do you know how much affected Starbucks in China? China, imagine Starbucks. How important is Starbucks to China? 10% of all the winnings of China, everything that China produces in questions of, economy, 10% is from Starbucks. Woo-hoo. And it affected Starbucks enormously. McDonald's, how are all these American companies, man? Weird, huh? American Airlines, British Airways, Lufthansa, all of these, IKEA, all of them got affected. Walmart. Now, what is China doing is bringing foreign workers to work for them. And they're paying $230 to $430 per day. I don't care. I will make my point across and I will let the world know, Africa, you don't want to be with me. I run this. You need me. I'm the number 1 industry in the world. I'm the number 1 exporter in the world. I'm the number 1 importer in the world. I'm the number 1 provider in the world. You are going to listen to me. And I'm going to affect your economy. That's why all these monsters right now, they're suffering. The economy in the world is suffering. The banks, it was the decision on the elite to take to affect economies in the world. Because the United States is fighting against China. They don't want China to have control. China's a communist country. How in the hell you gonna let that happen? How in the hell you gonna let that happen? So it is a continuous fight. And now what we need to do is to put the right people in the right positions in the right country to fight against all of these people that they're small pieces of the puzzle. No, like Alexandria Ocasio, Veronica Escobar, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, all these people, they're puppets of Soros. They're puppets of the United Nations. They're puppets of the elite. They are puppets. They put there in Congress and they are like, you're going to say this, you're going to say that. We need socialism. We need to destabilize economy. We need, everything for everybody. Everything for everybody. Bernie Sanders, another puppet. That's why the United States, that is a country, a leader in the world, a world leader, they need to have people that fight against socialism. 1, right here on my back, Anthony Agüero. 2, Dr. Alma. And 3, thank you so much and God bless you to the person that lent me this platform, that is Sandra Lee Whitten. You guys need to put people like this, like that. You guys need to put people like Sandra Lee Whitten in Congress. People that care about your country and people that they're going to do everything in their power to fight against all this demonic people and all this demonic movement. Listen, it's not difficult, people, to not read between the lines of this socialist agenda. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. We need all of us to start reading what is happening in socialist countries. Because what is happening in socialist countries is going to try to happen in the United States. So, because of that, you guys need to put the right people in your country. And us, that we are stuck here in Mexico, we need to continue to give our voice in English, in Spanish, in Korean, in French, in whatever language. But we need to fight against socialism. And the person for the job in District 28 in Texas is Sandra Lee Whitten. You guys go out there, give her the trust. Trust her. She is a valuable woman, and she will fight for you. Imagine how much. You guys didn't know how much they were paying in Hidalgo, right? In New Mexico. $438,000 in evasion of taxes. And per capita, they paying 80.53. In El Paso, they're paying per capita 13.05 with $9,136,000 of evasion of taxes. Imagine how much money is that? And all that money, where is it? Where is it? And undocumented people are going to say, yeah, but how much we produce, bro? We should get a percentage, bro. Bro, you're undocumented. You shouldn't be getting not even 1 cent. What are you talking about? There's no justification for that. There's none. Immigration reform needs to happen. Creation of jobs, not only for the United States, but for Mexico, for everybody to be created. Industries, big industries, pitching in. Not everything for me. This needs to happen. And it needs to stop. Thank you for everybody. How's everybody doing? I'm Oscar Blue for Border Network News. And now I'm in the platform of Sandra Lee Whitten right here. I'm doing a little video on this Sunday. I was just kicking it right here, a family reunion. We're just having a little time right here. And I decided to go on Sandra's page, and I decided to go live on Sandra's page because it's needed for everybody to know continuously what is happening in our country and how all this is ricocheting to the United States. It's continuously happening. It's going back and forth. There are socialist ideologies from two countries, getting together, and they're like a little chain. There are borders too. What does that mean? Okay, I will correct what I wrote. I'm sorry, my writing is not that correct. I'm sorry, Troy Cardenas. I decided to come in here and spill a little bit of what is happening in this socialist country. We as Mexicans, we are on the first stage of socialism. Unfortunately, we have a socialist president. The beautiful thing about this is that a lot of Mexicans are waking up and we don't want socialism. Of course, we don't want it. And our obligation, not only as a bilingual broadcaster or a bilingual reporter, our obligation now is to do 2 languages. I know a little bit of another one, but I'm not that fluent. So I wish I was trilingual completely. But, as for me, as of right now, our obligation is to say to everybody what is happening in Mexico, what can happen in the United States, and how the United States needs to avoid this and to be prevented of what is coming. This is why you need to put this kind of candidates in Congress immediately. It's not just, it's not a matter of, this guy is this guy is that, this guy has better connections. It's not about that. It's about saving your country. Really, it is about saving your country. It is about saving your economy. It is about the future of your children. It is about the future of your families, and it is about the future, absolutely, of everybody's lives. Really. Socialism and communism kills people. See Russia, you see Cuba, you see Venezuela, you see Nicaragua, do you see Colombia, do you see Chile, do you see all of these countries are just a small example of what socialism and communism will do to them. Does not work. Does not work. And it's never going to work. Stop socialism and say no to socialism, people. How's everybody doing? Say hi to everybody. If somebody wants to ask a question before I go, I'll be right here with you guys. If you guys want to ask a question, we'll gladly answer it. I wanted to jump in here to Sandra's platform. I want to say hi to Walter. What's going on, Walter? You're the best, man. You're phenomenal. You're an outstanding fella. I want to say hi to Walter. Also, give a quick shout out to, Senator Lee Witten. Thank you so much. Also, follow Mayra Flores. Follow her as a great patriot. She's been sharing great information. I just shared one of her videos that happened in Tamaulipas, a Tamaulipas shooting. I shared it in my page because it's really important for everybody to know what is happening in the borders and all these dumbasses, Democrat socialists, that they say that there's no chaos, there's no crisis at the border. How in the hell do you think that there's no crisis when we're seeing what's happening? These people, when they're saying there's no crisis, I'm referring to migrants, Oscar. I'm referring to a damn crisis at the border. A crisis at the border is general. Narcotics, cartels, trafficking of children, sex trafficking, trafficking of women, trafficking of people, violence, delinquents, everything in general. That is a crisis. That is why there is a crisis at the border. And it needs to be stopped. And it has gone down, people. Because of the wall, the irregular entrances to the United States has, in the year 2019 to 2020, it went down enormously, more than 68%. You got to be kidding me with that. It can't get better than that. And, there were citizens that are telling me, hey, you know what? You advocate for the wall. I'm like, yeah. Why? There's a problem? Oh, no, they hate us. No, that's what they're trying to do to you. That's what when Rashida Tlaib came over here to Tijuana, she was advocating for saying there's separation of families and the wall is full of hate. That is what they make you think. It is the obligation as a Mexican to understand what a wall represents. The wall is not because of the skin color. It's not because I hate you because you're brown. It's not because I hate you because you're Mexican. It's not because I hate you because I don't like you. No. The wall is for, I don't want no drugs anymore in my country. I don't want no child trafficking anymore. I want this human smuggling to stop. And I want all this violence and delinquency that is occurring on both of our borders to stop. That is what a wall stands for. It doesn't stand for race. It stands to stop child trafficking, drug trafficking, and violence and delinquents into our borders. That's why a wall was put. So to all you paisanos, para todos los paisanos que piensan que un muro fue hecho nomás porque no nos quieren, despierten. Eso es lo que nos están haciendo pensar. No es por eso, señores. La violencia está incrementando y está subiendo muchísimo en nuestro país de México. Más de 34,000 asesinatos en el primer año de Andrés Manuel López Obrador. Y más de 4,000 mujeres han sido asesinadas desde el 2019 al 2020. No se crean las estupideces de Andrés Manuel solamente culpando a los gobiernos pasados y al neoliberalismo. Déjense de tontadas ya y vean la realidad de lo que está pasando. Nos están comiendo y el socialismo nos está acabando. Socialism is eating us up in our country of Mexico and is rubbing off on the United States. And now the Democrat socialist agenda is affecting Mexico now because they want all of this to come to the United States. So we are in the middle and we need to stop it. Whether it is in English, in French, in Italian, in Spanish, whatever language it is, we need to stop it. And that is why you guys in District 28, you guys need to put a person like Sandra in. Because she is to stop all of this. And there's always a place. There's always a place that you can start. It doesn't matter if you start slow, if you start fast, if you're fast forward. No. The thing that is more important is that something is being done. And Sandra is the right person to be in District 28 and to be something being done. Good evening to everybody. Hope that you guys are having a beautiful Sunday night. I'm about to go eat some carne asada. And, I'm about to go eat some burritos. Burritos y carne asada. I'm just going to have a beautiful Sunday. Thanks to God that we have 2 arms, 2 legs, hands that we can touch, heart that we can feel, mind that we can think, eyes that we can see, a voice that we can communicate. Let's thank God for every single thing that we have. God bless everybody that is watching. God bless Sandra. God bless everybody in Texas. One of the greatest states in the whole United States. God bless everybody in District 28. Guys, wake up, paisanos, despierten, que nos los están comiendo el mandado y nos los están comiendo feo. Por el amor de Dios, nos están haciendo pedazos acá en México. Y necesitamos despertar, no solamente desde ahora de AMLO, desde el PRI, desde el PAN. Ustedes bien saben cómo es México corrupto y es un asco en el gobierno. Y siempre hay un comienzo para hacer las cosas bien. Y el socialismo no es el comienzo. Ni el PRI ni el PAN lo han sido. Pero tenemos que cambiar ya. We need to change, people. And socialism is not the answer. And in Mexico, all the past governments and all the past, political parties, they've been corrupt. They've been a piece of crap. All of them. All of them. Mexico is corrupt by the root. And it's about time. And I think that is the time right now that we take out that root and we start brand new and fresh. Make Mexico great for once. And make our borders safe with putting Sandra Lee Wynn in District 28 and Anthony Wood in District 16 and Dr. Alma. God bless her also. Stay safe, everybody. It was beautiful talking to you on the platform of Sandra Lee Wynn. God bless you all. Stay safe. Vote for Sandra. Is the vote that it will change your district. God bless you all. Stay safe. And always remember, peace and love, everybody. Because always, your country's first.